We look at one, Ben Davis. Is this the moment for Ben Davis, the former five-star out of Gordo High School in Alabama, to make his mark? I got a text today from a couple of sources here, or one main source, and a couple of others kind of co-signed it, but got a text in talking about how, Ben Davis has been sort of talking to, people around him, people close to him, about he feels really confident about him starting this season for the Crimson Tide as a redshirt senior at one of the two outside linebacker spots. And this is big because Ben has been through a whole lot. And, this is somebody that comes in the 2016 class. Everybody was really excited, high energy, pumped up, really glad to have him in Tuscaloosa, especially, seeing how his father, Wayne Davis, the all-time leader in total tackles, 327. And people just felt like Ben was going to come in, pick up where his dad left off, keep the legacy going, keep the thing running. And he's had, some rough patches. Being 2016, he redshirted his initial freshman year, and then 2017 and 2018 combined, he played in about 2 to 3 games. And then last year, for the first time, he actually got in a bit more action. He played in 11 games in 2019. He had 4 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 1 sack. But it felt like things finally started to kind of click and come together for him mentally as well as physically against Mississippi State last year. And I remember that game, State was losing in that matchup. Alabama was having success offensively, and defensively it was playing, solid football. And Tommy Stevens was at quarterback. And I remember Stevens takes the snap out of the gun. He drops back. All of a sudden, I see this torpedo knifing through the B gap and just completely destroys Tommy Stevens on the ground. And all of a sudden, I see the guy get up, and he's wearing number 1. It was Ben Davis, and he was jumping around, hopping around, excited like he was a child in a candy store finally getting his first taste of Reese's Cup. I mean, excited about it. He was genuinely happy about it. And I remember Jarrett Maiden, former Alabama safety, of whom came in the same class as Davis, he spoke on the hit that Ben had. You could literally hear, like an earthquake, hear the pads popping on that hit. And when Maiden heard it, he instantly comes around wondering, okay, who made that sack? Where did that sound come from? And when he found out who it was, he was overjoyed. Like, he couldn't have been any more proud of that moment for Ben. And it was kind of that moment to let him know, you can do this. Like, you can play this game. Like, you can play at this level. Like, when you have a work ethic and you lock in mentally and you finally do all the things, the dirty work to go around with you having the physical talent, and you put it together on the field, something special can happen. Something special is bound, something positive is bound to happen. And here's a young man that has seen about 3 to 4 to 5 recruiting classes come in after him, and guys being packed on top of him, and a revolving door at linebacker where he's seen guys come in and out. He has seen players get drafted between the 2016 and 2017 recruiting classes. 7 different players on the defensive side of the football got drafted, including 2 linebackers in Mack Wilson and Terrell Lewis. And on top of that, Ben has also seen where he's saw guys to enter the transfer portal. And people in college football, they don't like the term 5-star bust, especially in Alabama football. Alabama fans do not like the term 5-star bust because you see these guys in high school. You see these guys, they're larger than life. They perform well. They play well. They're monsters. They get these star ratings, and especially when they get the 5-star, fans are rushing to the TV, they're rushing to the internet, and they're going, wow, he's really good. He's really talented. He's really dynamic. I wish the best for him. I hope the best for him. I want the best for him. And, when those guys don't pan out and when they're labeled as a bust, you know, Bama fans, you guys get very hurt. You guys get sad. You guys get upset. I mean, we look back at Star Jackson. We look back at Phillip Sims. We look back at Blake Barnett. And even at times we look at Antonio Alfano and Ayabi Anoma, and we just go, why? Why did it not work? I mean, they were a 5-star. They were talented. They were gifted. They had all the tools. They had all the traits. Why did it not work? Is there something wrong with the coaching staff? Is there something wrong over here? Is there something wrong over there? Why did these guys not pick it up? Like, you have a lot of fans that get really concerned because they want to see every 5-star make it. They want to see every 5-star ball. They want to see every 5-star have, you know, some type of success. And for Ben, he's looking square in the face of a situation where he is getting what not a lot of people get. He could have gone to the transfer portal. He could have said, screw it, forget it, I'm done, I'm out of here. Obviously, the guys are coming in. They're talking about all of these freshmen over me. I've seen guys get drafted. I haven't had my moment yet. And despite all that has happened with Ben, some of it he brought on himself. But despite all that's happened to Ben in terms of football, he looks upright. The door is not closed. The door is not even cracked. It's darn near wide open. It's wide open because for the first time at that outside linebacker position, there's not much experience, if any, at all. Ben Davis is the oldest guy in the room. Think about that for a moment. Just let that marinate around the cerebellum right quick. Ben is the oldest guy in the room. Redshirt senior, 6'3", 243 pounds. Chris Allen has some game experience, but not all that much, just 16 games. You look at King Wakuda, you know, he played some last season, but not all that much. Kevin Harris II, same deal. Jurassic Park, same deal. And though you've got, you know, some freshmen that fans are very excited about. I mean, people are antsy to see Will Anderson. They're antsy to see Drew Sanders. They're antsy to see Chris Broswell. They're antsy to see Quandarius Robinson. So there are some freshmen that people are excited about. But Ben Davis, for the first time, despite all that's happened to him, he looks in front of him and he goes, my God, I have a chance. Despite all that's happened to me, there's still hope. Like, I can still capitalize on a season. There's potential for Ben Davis to go out here in 2020, potentially start, and have a year where maybe he can pick up 50 tackles. Maybe he can pick up, 5 to 6 tackles for loss. Maybe he can have 4 to 5 sacks. Maybe he can have, 5 to 6 quarterback hurries. Maybe he can produce some numbers that at the end of the day, though it didn't start off great, he can possibly end his career maybe getting picked up by an NFL team at the next level. Maybe. There's a shot. There's opportunity. Like you've had some folks that have just written Ben Davis off the face of the earth. He's a bum. He's a bust. He's done. Scrap him. Put a fork in him. That goose is cooked. You can't do it no more. And then you have other fans going, I still believe in you, Ben. Still believe in your BD. Still believe it. Still believe in your Uno. It's just taking him some time. It's just taking him a moment. He's just trying to find himself as a player, as a person. There's still a shot. I'm not giving up on Ben Davis. And despite all that's happened, people, Ben Davis is looking at this entire situation like, I've got a chance. I've got a chance. I've seen Anthony Jennings come and go. I've seen Terrell Lewis come and go. I've seen Tim Williams come and go. I've seen Ryan Anderson come and go. Christian Miller, Jamie Mosley. I've seen so many guys that taught me the game, so to speak, come and go. I've even seen Mac Wilson, the brother that came in here with me, come and go. And there is still an opportunity. There's still an opportunity for me to go out here in this upcoming season, have my say, and put together a season where I can leave the last impression in the minds of fans going, you know what? It was tough on Ben. It was hard on Davis. It wasn't easy. But the young man didn't quit. The young man stuck to it. The young man kept fighting. And what do you know? He has his swan song moment, and it's a great one for Ben Davis. So the young man very confident that he's going to have an opportunity to start this year at one of the two outside linebacker positions. He's been talking about it thus far in the offseason. We'll see what happens. Still holding out hope for BD. We'll see what happens. We take our next break here on the show. Don't touch that dial, though, folks. When we come back, we unpack more of your phone calls, your thoughts, your questions, your opinions right after this.
T-Town Menswear in the University Mall in Tuscaloosa. Touchdown Alabama Magazine is Alabama football's premier publication. A subscription to Touchdown Alabama Magazine is the perfect gift for any Alabama fan. For exclusive news and information, recruiting updates, a free annual print magazine, and more, go to touchdownalabama.com and click join. Only $5.95 per month, or pay $49.95 for a full year subscription. That's a saving of almost $22. Go to touchdownalabama.com today and roll Tide.
Thank you for watching Touchdown Alabama Magazine's YouTube channel. To continue to get the best in Alabama football content, subscribe here and turn on your notifications to stay connected with the hottest shows covering your Crimson Tide.